Hello and welcome. This is Japan, and this is my push or don't push for the women's roster. I kind of done this before in the past where we kind of feel like who's in the main event, who's going to be future talent, who should they be just pushing to the moon, and who it's kind of just, I guess, like push doesn't work always. You could always put like kind of stale, needs a change, something, just kind of needs something to be changed. Like gimmick or just more screen time, something. And right off the bat, we can kind of see we have a couple of the NXT. I didn't want to put a lot of the NXT people in there because it's going to be some changes, especially with the NXT or the draft coming up. I have a feeling we'll have probably somebody from the main roster get drafted down that will kind of take over and help a lot of the talent kind of get over. And I think we'll have some of that, which we could possibly predict at some point that too. And I kept the only people that might be drafted up because of either winning championships and stuff like that. So we'll see, and we'll try to throw them where we think we're going to throw them. Let's start off with though Alba Fire. I think like the witches were going to be great on the main roster, but where are they? We haven't seen them that often. It just kind of sucks because like we had the tease with Asuka opening up the box with them in it, and then we saw them at the Halloween Havoc, and we just really haven't seen them other than like at a Battle Royale or whatever. I don't even know if either one was in the Royal Rumble, to be honest. I can't remember. It obviously wasn't that great if we can't remember that. So I'm going to kind of put it in the stale. They need to either get kind of out there to do something, but there's no point in pushing them right now if they're not over or even on TV because we don't know. Obviously, Bailey is main event. She's the current WWE champion. I hope that she has a pretty decent run to. I don't think she'll have a year-to-year run. Like I don't think she'll make it to next WrestleMania, but I do think it will be a really good run either way, so it's going to be exciting. Next up, we got Alexa Bliss. I think once she's back from her pregnancy, she's going to automatically be in that main event scene, and rightfully so. She's always been there and just absolutely amazing at what she does there. So, especially with some time off, and hopefully she'll be able to come back even stronger. So, main event. Same thing with Becky Lynch. She's just got done facing Rhea Ripley at WrestleMania. I think she's going to have a little bit of time off, but she's going to go right back in there, possibly in a feud with Bayley or something. I could really see those two being like two pillars of the horsewomen, like going after each other, and it'd be cool. It would be fun. I think it would be a good match, and I could kind of see that being a good main event. We'll see where they get drafted to. Some of this might change with the draft because you get drafted to a different place, and it's just like it could change a lot. Next, we got B-Fab. I don't think we're going to get much of a push from her. She's been having a little bit of ring spots, but I think like she's kind of like that valet where like she's going to be there and do some promos and do some cuts and stuff, but not much more than a couple bumps here and there. So I'm going to have to say, don't push her. Next up, we have Bianca. Bianca's always going to be a main event talent because of how talented she is on the mic and how strong she is. I mean, she can show off a lot out there. I really want to see Bianca Rhea Ripley match again because they haven't fought each other since I think NXT, at least in my recent brain of thinking about it, because I am a little bit gapped in time of watching wrestling, so there possibly could have happened. Obviously put her in the main event. Sorry for the whining. My dog's having a little cow over there. We have a new cat. He's just wanting to go talk to it and stuff. Next up we got Candice LeRae, which actually is like one of those weird characters and like wrestlers. Like if we were talking about her like 3-4 months ago, she'd probably be in that don't push and stale. But they changed what she's been doing, and this mega heel Candice is a lot of fun to watch in a way. Like I don't know if it's a good way or a bad way, but I like it. I like the change. I think they should keep pushing it. I think they could really do that, and they could really change and do a lot of things. Pepper. My little dog is just having his little cow. Next up is Carmilla. When she comes back, I don't really know where she was filling in the spot of the roster before she left. She's just a little bit out of the scope of when I came back to watching wrestling full time that I don't know. I'm going to have to put her down here because I just don't really know where she fits in the current landscape. Maybe you guys can sound off in the comments and change my mind. Next up, Charlotte Flair. When she comes back, automatically main event talent. What are we talking about there? I almost feel like the future main event section is a little hard to, but maybe we'll think of somebody else. Next up is Chelsea Green. She's been squashed a lot in tag team matches lately, so it's going to be hard for her to really get over somewhere. I like her a lot. I think she did great in the Royal Rumble. I personally feel Chelsea Green should get a push. it's gonna have to be some type of little bit of a change, but still having her Chelsea Green personality. But I think definitely should be pushed. Next up is Dakota Kai. I think with damage control, she's gonna have that push. I feel like maybe she's around that range that she's gonna be a future main event talent. I think like her and Bailey could probably have a match either Backlash or one of the other premium live events. So I think she's going to be in that main event at some point very soon, especially against Bailey. So I'll put her in that future main event. I mean, I think she's very talented, but she's kind of in this weird spot with damage control. They just haven't really done exactly what they want to do with it. So I think that's how it's going to go. Next is Elektra Lopez. I'm pretty sure that's who that is. She's kind of more of a valet too. I don't think she's going to get a lot of screen time at the moment other than just being in the back. Maybe she'll have that opportunity. I feel like possibly if the LWO and the Street Profits or like the Pride or whatever you want to call them go after each other next, they could have one with BFAB and maybe they can have a couple matches together, which would be nice. Indy Hartwell's kind of a weird one because I like Indy a lot and I think her in NXT was great. But I feel like the main roster, she just hasn't got her fame. Like, she kind of got the match at the Elimination Chamber, but I feel like that was just kind of like, oh, she's Aussie, let's throw her in there. And it didn't feel that special. I feel like she's kind of building something up with Candice LeRae being there, but I feel like she's just kind of falling behind. I think that ultimately, without Candice turning on Indy really badly, I think that will be part of Candice's push more than Indy's. I just don't see her getting much from it. So I'm going to kind of put her in like the don't push and stale area. I think they need to do something with her. Either help, maybe side with Candice and be like, yeah, I do need to toughen up and do that. Or go really hard against Candice and other heels maybe. I don't know. It's just kind of that weird thing where I think she's kind of stuck in between. Next up, we got Io Sky recently dropping the title. I think she's still going to be in the main event scene. I think she's not necessarily. I think they're going to put her right back into any type of storyline other than maybe getting like a rematch type of thing. But I don't see her being right up in there to try to get another championship anytime soon. But she can still have some great matches, and she had a phenomenal match at WrestleMania. So she definitely needs to still be up in that upper 10, women wrestlers that can go there. Next up, we got what is it, Isla Dawn? I think she's at the same thing with Alba Fire that just they got to do something. I just think more screen time would maybe get us a better spot. So that's where we're gonna have to go. Ivy Nile was having quite a bit, and then she's had a couple like tag matches and stuff. I think she's kind of still like one of those background characters. I think maybe she doesn't have as much tenured as the Creed brothers, so like maybe she's still kind of waiting around to get that extra time. So I think we just kind of put her down there in the don't push and slash stale thing. I think she still needs a little bit more time until they're going to do anything with her. Jade Cargill is obviously main event talent. They've already showed their commitment to putting her in there, and it's well deserved. She is phenomenal on everything that she does, and she's only a couple matches in. So as long as that continues and she continues to show the growth that she is obviously destined to do, we'll see a lot more of her, and I think she'll have the main event. It's kind of weird with Asuka. Asuka's one of my favorite wrestlers. She is the tag team champions, but I think they're just holding those titles for Bianca and Jade. I hate to say it, but I feel like they're just kind of in that. They're always going to be in the main event. I think Kairi's also there, but I don't see them. After they drop these titles, I don't really see where they go from there, and I'm kind of curious. So I'm going to put them in. They're both future main eventers. They've always been, but I'm kind of feeling that next time I do this video, one of them is going to slide into something else. Katana Chance, like her and Kaden Carter were like the only tag teams that were actually like together. And let me put some of that Soul Rocka and down there because they aren't. Another one. I don't think Tamina's on the roster, but yeah, I think just kind of they've kind of lost that steam. I don't think we'll really see much of them. I hope so. Pepper, stop being a grump. You little cute boy, you just it's okay, I'll pet your head. Next up we got is that Wendy Chu? I've never even seen her. I don't know what they're doing. But, I guess that could be good or bad. Katana Kaden Carter, I'm gonna have to put her right next to. What are you barking about, Pepper? Stop. just text my partner to go get him because he's just being unruly. Next up, we have Lyra Valkyria. Just dropped the NXT title. I do believe she's going to get the call up. I don't know what they're going to do with her, but I'm excited. I think she has a lot of talent. Like she's really good on the in the ring, and I think on the mic she's really getting there too. I think she should get a push when she comes up to the roster. I don't really know what the mentality is that they're going to do with her, but I have a feeling that hopefully during the next big PLE we're going to get some sort of like mid card title, and hopefully they'll give some of these people in the push category to really go. Like a women's intercontinental title and a women's US title could really help a lot of this out. And yeah, I mean, we'll see if that's even a Finn that's on their radar, but I really hope so. Next up is Maxine Dupree. I think she's definitely getting better. I just think with her current gimmick and stuff, I think she's going to be kind of stuck in that, like, not really going to be pushable, but she'll still be around and still get some roster time. So hopefully that will give her some more time in the ring, and then maybe down the line she could really get into that push category. Meacham's a great wrestler too. I just don't think she gets enough time. She's kind of a pushover talent. Like a lot of people have matches with her. They're gonna probably beat her, but they're gonna look good. She's gonna look good, but it's just you're not gonna see much of her actually getting the opportunities that she deserves. So I'm gonna put her in the bottom category for now. Hopefully things will change. Hey, getting into a better faction or getting into a tag team could definitely help change that for her. But for the time being, she's kind of just down there. Next is Naomi. I think they were really committed to showing off how good she is. I mean, I think her next match is against Bayley for the women's championship. I don't know if that's at Backlash or at SmackDown, but I think that will show off, exactly that they mean business. They want her to be in the main event scene. Next up is why do I want to call her Natasha even though it's Natalia? Natalia, they have her going down to NXT to do some stuff. I think that will be good for her. Maybe win a title down there. Could be really cool, like because it could really show off and help a lot of things. But I don't think she has much of a push or anything in the current roster right now. So I think she'll get more screen time. I think she'll get her own like special push down there, but it's not the one that she probably necessarily wants. Okay, now Nia Jax is one of a weird one. She really is. I think she's gotten a lot better. I was not really a big fan of her coming back because she did seem like she was a little bit worse for wear out there, hurting some people. But I feel like she has gotten a lot better, and she kind of has that monster ability to just wreck people. But they got to do something about that. Like, they got to put her in a position to wreck people and be scary. Even if it's just squash matches against, like, everybody on the bottom of that row. I feel like she should get that push to build up that monster mentality before she takes on stuff. I think that's the only problem. They kind of ran her into Rhea Ripley, and they knew she wasn't going to beat Rhea Ripley, so it just felt like they were kind of giving up on that monster ability. And I think they need to refresh it. Just give her a second to refresh and start taking out everybody at the bottom of the card, like in very crazy status, like either just beating the crap out of people or beating them fast, any of that type of stuff. Yeah, I think that will work. Next up, Nikki Cross. I mean, her whole gimmick is just standing there doing nothing. I think she's kind of a lost cause at the moment. I think hopefully they can give her some type of refresh, but at the moment there's not much. I put Nikki Lyons over here because I feel like she might get a call up, or she's pretty close. I think if she does, I think she should get a push. I'm going to put her here. I think she's very talented, and I think she works very well with a lot of these other wrestlers with strength and abilities and stuff, so it could be really good. She might not get the call-up, but she might just stay down there in NXT and kind of, she came off an injury, so that's the only reason why I'm not 100% sure where she's going to land. But if she's in NXT, I think she's going to get a push either way, so I think that's one thing. Next up is Piper Niven. I think they're kind of trending for her and Chelsea Green to break up, and I think Piper Niven's going to get the short end of the stick of that and not get as pushed as much, but you never know. Again, being kind of a monster-y type character, they could really do really well with her. But I don't know. We haven't seen it yet, so we don't really know. Next up is Liv Morgan. She's main event because, she's going to be Rhea's next opponent. I think a lot of people really enjoy her and really like her, so I think that helps. And I like Liv Morgan. I really do. I think like with her, you know, kind of shaky injury past, it's a little hard to put a lot of stock in if she can hold on to a championship right now. But hopefully she's in good health. They can kind of give her that push to either, you know, be a menace or whatever they're gonna go with. The same thing with like Raquel Rodriguez. I think like she has that really bad eczema problem, so I think she's definitely, when she's starting to feel better, she'll be a future main event talent. She has already been in a lot of premium live events and stuff this last year, so I think it's not that far fetched that she could possibly get a title. See, if they do add mid card titles, I think it would give a lot more stuff for them to build characters on instead of having it. I think if they do a US and they do an Intercontinental, I think they should go, you know, one where they try to build up a history of having, you know, maybe a couple months reign and they flip titles from different people, and the other one they should just have a solid, just undisputed one. And I think it should flip it to the US being the undisputed one and the Intercontinental one, because we just had Gunter and the men's side having the Intercontinental title for so long that we should have a women's US title holder that just is so badass that eventually when she drops it, it's because she's going to the main roster, or like not main roster, but like to the top. And I could see somebody on the here like being like possibly like a Nia Jax, you know, having that title and really putting it over. Next up, Rhea Ripley, obviously main event because she is the world heavyweight title holder, and I think she might hold on to that either to SummerSlam or to next WrestleMania. It's going to be a major event, but we shall see. Roxanne Perez is the current NXT Women's Champion, and I think she's going to be called up. She's one of my favorites. I definitely think she's a future main eventer. I'm going to put her on push right now because they're going to have to push her first, and I think she's going to be great. And another one, she could be somebody that holds on to like that mid-card title and make it great. I'm talking about a mid-card title, even though there's no evidence for sure that we're going to get anything. But I would be happy. And, you know, don't you guys want to make me happy? You know, comment also on the Fane and tell me what you guys think about every Fane. You know, comments are nice. Next up is Scarlett. Again, kind of like a valet, so she's going to have to be back there. She's only going to get spots when she's with teams that have it, which like the LWO, you know, like all of that kind of have, you know, they all have like one woman member, so that it could help a lot. Well, they have the LWO and the, God, I forgot the other one, but with Santos Escobar, that's the one that Alexa Lopez is in. I messed up earlier. Electra Lopez. Damn, my brain. Shayna Baszler is kind of a weird one because they let her do Bloodsport this year, which is like an outside of event, but I feel like she really, it's just kind of nuts here, but I don't think she's gonna get that main roster like title again. Not anytime soon, I don't think, unless they really change something or try to build her up again. But it's gonna be a while. Shotzi, I think, was kind of in her way to kind of maybe getting back up there, but she kind of got hurt, and I think it's just kind of it's gonna end up failing it. Sonya Deville, currently inactive because of injury, so I'm gonna put her in the inactive. Next up is Tegan Knox, another one I think that's pretty talented but can't stay healthy, so she's gonna go into the still don't push. Next up is Tiffany Stratton, who will be pushed to the moon, but she's definitely a future main eventer because I think like you're already starting to get that with that elimination chamber that she had. I think she's already going to that next step. Next up is Trish Stratus. I don't even know if she's currently even has anything that she wants to do with the WWE, but don't push her. Like, just let her stay back being a legend. Valhalla, just nothing that you need to push right now. Xia Li, for a second there, looked like she was going to get a bigger push and then disappeared. So we're going to put her back down there. Zelina Vega was another interesting one because she had a very hot start of after WrestleMania, but then kind of fizzled out. And I think they're not really having much plans for her, so I think she's going to be stuck that way. Next up is Zoe Stark. Again, another one that's kind of like that. Zoe, I was amazing, and I really was hoping that she was going to get it. She's got a couple main events. I'm going to put her in the push because I think she deserves it, but I don't know if they're going to do that. But I personally would push her because I think that she's going to work out. And that is my list. Tell me if you guys agree. This was a long video. Just, yeah, tell me what you guys think. And if I'm wrong, and if you guys want a mid-card talent or like title, tell me if that's something you guys want too. Because I think it's something that we deserve and we need. At least one, if not two. Because two would work for each brand, but I can understand just putting one in there. But we did get a women's North American title, so there is some possibility we're going to get a little bit more now that our divisions are getting deeper. So we'll see. I am Japan. Bye, guys.